time is it? It's time for War! Here's your host, 100% raw truth, 100% American made, the warrior, Wayne Allen Root.
Reaction, the root's on fire. We should have a new theme song, Wayne Allen Root, one more staple. I always get one more staple in before the show begins. I'm telling you, I'm not going to kill people with guns and knives. I'm a staple guy. I'll hit you with a staple gun. I carry it wherever I go. Hey, you liberal crazy people, notice I carry my staple gun wherever I go. It's right here, waiting to be taken out. I'll staple your eyeballs to your nose, you losers. So, Biden officials, this to me is the biggest story of the day. Biden officials hid deadly health risks of COVID vaccines. Bombshell congressional report reveals. They knew. Of course they knew. Big Pharma knew. They ran the trials and people died. Mm-hmm. And they didn't care because they were going to make billions. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean the companies were going to make billions, because I think the companies made hundreds of billions and collectively trillions. But it was more money than they'd ever make in a lifetime. But the CEO and his top executives each made billions. For all I know, do you remember in the old days, Bill Gates, when Microsoft went public, there were secretaries that made $50 and $100 million. Personal assistants made $50, $100 million with stock from Bill Gates. There might have been secretaries at Big Pharma that made $100 million. It's unbelievable. And we all know that the government our government paid media to never say anything bad about the COVID vaccine, which is why my lawsuit is about to be filed. We got FOIA requests to the U.S. government agencies and to all the people that shamed me and demonized me and banned me and censored me and silenced me. I'm coming, mother truckers. I'm coming and I'm taking all your money. You better back up the Brinks truck, because I'm coming after what you did to me. I spread truth and I saved lives, and you're murdering mother truckers. You killed people with your lies and your cover-ups, you scum. And I'm coming for you. I'm gunning for you. But I mean that with lawyers talk, not real guns or anything like that. So don't let any liberal scumbags try and misinterpret what I said. I'm coming to not to physically hurt you, to financially hurt you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit you where it really hurts. Not a shot with a bullet in the stomach, but a financial hit, because in the end that's what you care about. Because in the whole world, nobody cares more about money. Not capitalists, not Republicans, not conservatives. Liberals are the ones who care about money. They're the ones who get rich off of government. They're the ones that try and silence everyone while they're stealing and siphoning and looting from government and taxpayers and getting rich. You kidding me? Go to all the towns in America that are rich: Scarsdale, Great Neck, Palo Alto, Beverly Hills, La Jolla, I don't know, name the town. Everyone is rich, and they're all Democrats. They all got rich off government. You're all thieves and scumbags. Now go to middle America, where everyone has a little house. It's worth $300,000. All Republican, conservative Trump supporters. None of them got rich off government. They got screwed by government. That's the reality of life. Biden, how many people did he kill? And now, the poor old man is dying of stage 4 prostate cancer. People are going to be pissing on your grave, Joe. You better not tell anyone where your grave is, because everyone's going to unzip and whip it out, and they're going to pee right on you, buddy, after you're gone. You are a horrible human being. Your COVID vaccine mandate killed how many millions of people? Killed and injured. I'll cover myself. There might be 500,000 to a million dead Americans from your mandate, but I'll just assume that there are millions injured, so I can say I cover myself by saying millions killed, injured, crippled, and disabled by the COVID vaccine. And you knew and you hid it because you wanted to make people keep taking it, because I guess you wanted to kill Americans. I guess you're a mass murderer. So now we find out you're sick and we're supposed to feel bad. boy, they're going to be peeing on your grave, buddy. FDA no longer recommends COVID vaccine for healthy babies. So much for all my Republican, conservative, and libertarian friends who don't like Trump, who keep telling me, Trump's the father of the vaccine, Wayne. Trump's as bad as Biden. First of all, Trump was not the father of the vaccine. Trump is not a scientist. Trump is not a doctor. Trump was misled by Fauci and all his crew. Second of all, Trump never mandated the vaccine. And third of all, he's the guy that has now named RFK Jr. Nobody else would have done that in a billion years. Not in a million years, in a billion years. There's not another world leader or leader in the history of America before or since that would have named someone the media said was a crazy man and a conspiracy theorist and a nut job who hates vaccines as the head of HHS. Only Trump would do that, and Bobby Kennedy's trying to keep us all safe. And the FDA now no longer recommends the COVID vaccine for healthy babies. As of a few days ago, I saw it was healthy babies, teenagers, anyone under 18, pregnant moms, etc., etc. But this article just says the U.S. government no longer recommends the COVID-19 vaccine for healthy babies thanks to new guidelines from the Trump administration. Thank you, President Trump. The DOJ is investigating Andrew Cuomo for lying about COVID decisions. How many old people did he kill? A murderer, mass murdering scumbag, Nazi. You're a Nazi-level scumbag. How many people you murdered? Now you're running for mayor of New York. Well, I think the DOJ kills your attempt to run for mayor of New York. You're dead now, unless New Yorkers are that dumb. Of course, the decision is communist, Nazi, Mengele, murderer, Cuomo, or a bunch of total, complete communists and black candidates who hate white people. So it's a really bad choice in New York City. I will admit that. Andrew Cuomo looks like the adult out of the group, but he's a murderer. And the DOJ investigating him for lying about all these people that died and trying to cover it up. Don't forget, he also is a sexual harasser in the Me Too day. I mean, come on. How is anyone allowing him to be the mayor when all those women accused him of sexual harassment? Masked NIH employees, National Institute of Health employees, storm out of the meeting after Director Bhattacharya questions the agency's role in the COVID-19 origins. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, of the Director of the National Institute of Health under Trump, sparked a mass walkout of NIH employees after suggesting COVID-19 may have originated from a Wuhan lab and that NIH helped fund it. He merely told the truth and asked a question about the truth, and all the employees wearing masks walked out. They were all mentally ill people, sick people. And again, thank President Trump. Don't tell me he's the father of the vaccine. He's the only guy that would have named Dr. Jay Bhattacharya from Stanford University, who was fired by Stanford because he didn't agree with the way COVID was being handled. Didn't agree on the vaccines, didn't agree on the masks, didn't agree on the lockdowns. He was a Wayne Root at Stanford, and they fired him. And Trump names him head of the NIH. Thank you, President Trump. You're fantastic. Here's a Trump story I love. Trump says he had to run again after the rigged election to shove it up their ass. Trump's words, to shove it up their ass. He made the remarks during a Kennedy Center board dinner at the White House State Dining Room Monday. They rigged the election, and then I said, you know what I'll do? I'll run again, and I'll shove it up their ass. I love it. He's a New Yorker like me, and that's how we talk. That's how we think. And we're not just talkers. That's what we do. We shove it up your ass. And that's what I did, he said. And all of a sudden, I then realized, I said, you know what? I got the Olympics. I got the World Cup. I got the 250th anniversary of the United States. He was referring to the LA Olympics in 2028. The football, soccer, if you're American, the football World Cup next year in the United States. And the upcoming 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. He's got them all. Look how it worked out, he says. If they would have left us alone, it wouldn't have cheated on the election, it wouldn't have rigged it, I would have been retired right now. I would have been happily doing something else, and instead they have me for 4 more years. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? In other words, what he's trying to say is, I shoved it right up their ass. I love it. I love it. And you know what the key is, President Trump? you got to do more than just say that. We got to send all the bad guys to prison where, guess what's going to get shoved up their ass? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else, but you know what happens in the shower. Don't drop the soap. That's all I got to say to Democrats after you're arrested. Don't drop the soap.
In real time.
In real time, exactly. Shove it up your ass in real time. So the White House responds to a Massachusetts judge for, and this is what they say about the judge in Massachusetts, otherwise known as Communist Taxachusetts. They said the judge is protecting criminal, illegal immigrant monsters, and they show off a list of who he protected: murderers, child sex offenders, and drug traffickers. That's who the judge is protecting. This is what this country's come down to. These judges need to be sent to Gitmo and charged with treason and put on trial for treason and let them live in the prison cells next to the Muslim terrorists at Gitmo. That's where they belong. I love it. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That's my Christmas present. And the two people I most want to see in the whole world sent to Gitmo, prosecuted, hopefully sent to Gitmo for the rest of their lives. But how about sent to any old prison in the United States for the rest of their lives? Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci, and don't forget Alejandro Mayorkas, who was a one-man destruction of the United States of America by being in charge of the border and welcoming the entire world of scumbags in. Bye-bye. Don't drop the soap. Hi, this is Wayne Alaroot. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all: GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com.
What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
without painful exercises in just 88 days? We have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment, but life's a lot longer than a moment.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fat. Fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
Go to the website below or scan the QR code to learn more.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Here's great stuff from Rob Schneider, the comedian. He's not late to the game. I've been talking about this for 4 years. But comedian Rob Schneider calls on all the vax pushers like Dr. Fauci and all the other doctors at the CDC and the FDA and the AMA and the WHO to go on stage in front of all of us, cameras rolling, and get all 52 COVID vax shots at once. And let's see what happens. And I agree. They'll all drop dead on the spot. That's it. The massive overdose, and they're all dead. And then we'll all know that the COVID vaccine is a killer. But they'll never do it. Will you roll up your sleeve and take every booster right now? How about we take the booster, we shoot it into a glass of juice, and you drink it all down. Tastes delicious, doesn't it? Spike proteins, COVID, death. Drink it. You're all such creeps. You murdered people. New poll finds majority of Americans view the economy as strong for the first time since 2021. It's a new Harvard-Harris poll. So it's not like this is prejudiced right-wing propaganda. Harvard-Harris, A, is very famous and credible, and B, is nothing even remotely close to right-wing. So note the timing. The last time people felt this good about the economy was shortly after Trump left office in 2021. Now he's back in office for just a few months, and people feel good again. This is not a coincidence, right? Not a quincy dink. It's Trump policies in action. So the golden age of America is here. Donald Trump is making America great again. Majority of Americans view the state of the economy as strong for the first time in 4 years. Gee, I wonder why.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. Hi.
Roots on fire. Welcome back to the show. Wow, that was a wild segment one, wasn't it? I had to really unload there on these communist scumbags. They deserved it. How Democrats have made America great. How Democrats have made America great. Everything you need to know by Wayne Allen Roots, my latest book. And you can find it at Amazon. It's a #1 bestseller. It's selling like hotcakes. How Democrats have made America great. You say, why is Wayne Root writing a book about how great Democrats are? I didn't. It's 140 blank pages. Get it? It's a joke. It's a gag book. It's a gag gift. Give it to all your friends. Get 10 copies. I think it's just like $9.99 at Amazon. Just get 10 copies and give it out for gifts to all your friends. They will laugh their asses off. $14.99. Pitar looked it up, my director. $14.99 at Amazon. But buy 10 of them, that's $150. And you have gifts for the next year. Christmas gifts and birthday gifts. And every party you go to, show up at the party and give the guy this book. And if your friends are Republican, he'll look at it and go, huh? And then he'll see the 140 blank pages and everyone will laugh. Everyone will laugh. It's good stuff. We need a laugh once in a while. So I was on this story, White House response to Massachusetts judge for protecting criminal illegal immigrant monsters. The White House called out far-left activist Massachusetts judge Brian Murphy in a press release Wednesday. I don't know how these people live with themselves. How do they live with themselves? You scumbag, judge, traitor, communist scumbag. He ruled that you can't deport violent criminal aliens. Biden appointed U.S. District Judge Brian Murphy. Scumbag. Look at him, scumbag. I'm going to throw darts at your face, you scumbag. Said the Trump administration violated his court order when they deported 7 illegal aliens to South Sudan. He said they failed to protect the aliens with meaningful due process since they were being sent to third-party countries. He suggested Trump administration officials may have committed contempt for enforcing immigration policy. They were sent to South Sudan because they're so bad that even their home countries would not take them back, said acting ICE Director Todd Lyons. The 7 illegal aliens from 7 different countries have been convicted of murder, sexual assault with children or incapacitated individuals, drug trafficking and other drug charges, and robbery. Most of them have convictions for multiple crimes. The White House issued the following news release on Wednesday, today. In other words, today, featuring mugshots and rap sheets. It's another attempt by far-left activist judge to dictate the foreign policy of the United States and protect the violent, criminal, illegal immigrants President Trump and his administration have removed from our streets. We conducted a deportation flight from Texas to remove some of the most barbaric, violent individuals illegally in the United States. No country on earth wanted to accept them because their crimes are so heinous and monstrous and barbaric. Thanks to the courageous work of the State Department and ICE and the President's National Security Team, we found a nation that was willing to accept custody of these vicious, illegal aliens. Here are the criminals that this judge, this activist, communist, traitor judge is trying to protect. Again, it's an opinion show. It's my opinion. He's an activist, communist, traitor judge. Enrique Arias Hierro, a citizen of Cuba. He has convictions for homicide, armed robbery, strong arm robbery, kidnapping, and false impersonation of an official. Okay, there's one. Then Jose Manuel Rodriguez Quinones. Did they get like an extra name for each murder? Is that the deal? Every time you rape or murder someone, they give you a new name. So you're like Jose Manuel Rodriguez. How does anyone say all these names every time you call somebody out? Citizen of Cuba. Convictions for attempted first-degree murder, battery, larceny, cocaine possession, and cocaine trafficking. And here's another one, a citizen of Laos, Thangze Nilakaut. Conviction of first-degree murder and robbery. Jesus Munoz Gutierrez, Mexican citizen, conviction for murder. Dion Peter Domach, citizen of South Sudan, conviction for robbery, burglar's tools, defaced firearm, driving under the influence. All loving people, aren't they? Just wonderful people. I want them out of our country. Thank you, President Trump. Lost Soldier Oil and Gas, the sponsor, and coming up next, an interview with Mark Bruner, the head of Lost Soldier, CEO and founder of Lost Soldier. He's a guy that took his last company, Ultra Petroleum, from 15 cents to $200 a share. A $10,000 investment grew to $13 million. 10,000 became $13 million for investors. This is his newest project, Lost Soldier. Took 40 years to piece together this 40,000-acre giant gas discovery field in Wyoming. Could be as big as the Permian Basin. If you're an accredited investor and would like to get involved in this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, go to lostsoldier.com, fill out the contact form. They'll get back to you, lostsoldier.com. Lostsoldier.com. Watch my interview with him coming up next. You want to get into this. Great stuff.
If someone told you that you could change your life, change your entire life in 88 days, would you do it? Would you believe it?
We're John and Chelsea Jubilee. What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
Without painful exercises in just 88 days, we have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment. But life's a lot longer than a moment. You need something that's sustainable, that will take care of you for a lifetime.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fat, fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. We encourage you, go log on our website and look at these amazing testimonials.
Over and over again, we've heard our clients say it sounded too good to be true, but it worked for me.
I needed to reduce my arthritic pain, and I also had very, very high blood pressure that needed to normalize. And I'm pleased to say that I have absolutely no arthritic pain anymore, and my blood pressure is normal.
It was really cool to be able to get my life back. I didn't even think I'd cry talking about that.
I endorse the program wholeheartedly. It has led to improvements that I can't fully explain based on my medical knowledge as it was taught to me.
Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
Go to the website below or scan the QR code to learn more.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Here's another big story. The Senate unanimously passes No Tax on Tips Act by unanimous consent. Now, what I don't get is, I had nothing to do with no taxes on tips. I was no tax on overtime and no tax on Social Security. I don't know why everyone is in such a rush to pass no tax on tips, which I support 100%, but leaving out no tax on overtime and no tax on Social Security. Now, if you look at the budget that Congress has passed, the House has passed, it just leaves out no tax on Social Security. It's got no tax on overtime. It's got no tax on tips. But it leaves out no taxes on Social Security. It does have a new $4,000 deduction for seniors who make $75,000 or less as a single senior, and if you are married, $150,000 or less. But that was not what I proposed. I said no taxes on Social Security, period. Why would we pay taxes on Social Security when Social Security is something we've paid into for 40 years and you've given us no interest on it? So why have you abandoned seniors? I don't know. I think it's a mistake, and I think it's bad. More news. Supreme Court sides, but I'm all for no tax on tips. I was always for it, and I believe in it. But it should go hand in hand with no tax on overtime and no tax on Social Security for seniors. And guess who votes the most in this country? It sure isn't waiters and waitresses. The people who vote are seniors. Those who are 62 and over, and especially 65 and over, are the number one most frequent voters. They all vote. They all go out to the polls. So it's a mistake to abandon them and take my other one, no tax on overtime, and make that the law, and take no tax on tips, which, by the way, the inventor of that one, who gave it to President Trump, was my buddy Dr. Jeff Gunter, Ambassador Jeff Gunter for President Trump. He was the ambassador to Iceland. Hi, this is Wayne Allyn. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. It's hot.
Wayne Allyn, welcome back. This is our guest segment. I always love meeting with great guests who are making America great again and making America prosperous again. We've had this guest on several times because people love him and they send me emails demanding more. All my fans radio, TV here on Real America's Voice, and my podcast have seen this guy, heard this guy, and they want to hear more and they want to get involved with this project. His name is Mark Bruner. He's the founder and CEO of Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. His website, lostsoldier.com, to find out more, lostsoldier.com. He is a second-generation oil and gas legend. What that means is his dad was an oil and gas legend who produced billions of dollars for investors. And his companies have created more than $15 billion in shareholder value. Mark, the son, $15 billion, including Ultra Petroleum, which went from 15 cents a share as a public company to $200 a share in 9 years, one of the most amazing success stories in Wall Street history. A $10,000 investment grew to $13 million over those 9 years for investors. I just said 10,000 became 13 million. I've never heard of numbers like that. It must be one of the few in the history of Wall Street to produce a number like that. And without further ado, let's introduce him with his new project, Lost Soldier, Mark Bruner. Mark, how are you?
Hello, Wayne. It's good to see you again.
So it's great to see you. And the deal is that Trump has two goals, right? Number one, he wants to make America energy independent and make America the energy capital of the world. And number two, he wants to reindustrialize America and create lots and lots of good paying industrial jobs like you get in the oil and gas industry. So correct me if I'm wrong, Lost Soldier Oil and Gas could very well play a central role in both goals of this Trump second term.
That's right. That's the situation here is that the area we're in is a place called Jeffrey City, and before 3 years ago, it was a ghost town. At one time, it had 6,000 people that lived there servicing a uranium mine. Okay, and what ended up happening after 3 Mile Island melted down, this uranium mine started closing down, and the reclamation has taken place up till 3 years ago. And after the people that I got this from and put it together, after they got permits to drill it, they showed it to me. I drilled it, and it's by far the largest discovery I've ever made. And since I did Ultra, to compare it with, I think it's an order of magnitude bigger than what Ultra Petroleum had. Okay, so I'm very excited. I think within 10 years, we'll have thousands of people out here working for developing this oil and gas field.
Very exciting stuff. So you help make America energy independent, you help make us the energy capital of the world, and you help reindustrialize America with lots of good industrial oil and gas jobs and reinflate this town as well. Give them lots of people who are making money and spending money. Good for everybody. So let's talk a little bit about Lost Soldier. You mentioned that you put it together, you pieced it together. It took 40 years to piece Lost Soldier together. It's 40,000 acres in Wyoming and the surrounding areas. How did this happen, and why has no one drilled it before?
Well, no one could get any permits to drill it because Kennecott was out here with this uranium mine until they started, as I said, closing it in the 1970s. So no permits to drill it, okay? One of the exciting things is the federal government saw the potential, and they allowed the people that had it to put together what's called a federal unit. And the only problem is no one could drill it. The nice thing about the federal unit is that we've already got an agreement with the federal government to orderly develop this oil and gas field. So that's absolutely a wonderful situation, and the timing couldn't be more perfect.
And I remember last time you were on, you talked about you've already, because this area that you've got, the 40,000 acres you've got of Lost Soldier, is surrounded by successful drilling, oil drilling and gas drilling. You've already got the infrastructure there without spending a large amount of additional money. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. Billions of dollars of infrastructure has been sunk into the ground for all the oil and gas fields that could be drilled out here. But the situation is these are old fields, and the infrastructure is pretty much empty. So we're going to lay only a 5 mile line, and we'll be in production, we believe, this year. And we expect within 3 years, based on this private placement we're doing, to have several $100 million a year in cash flow. And, we're very excited about that. We also have our own drilling company to be able to drill the wells, which is really a wonderful thing. These are all deep, high-pressure wells, and we believe that we're going to be not just drilling vertical but horizontal wells, and the volumes are going to be extremely high because of the overpressure that's in these zones. And you got to think about this as like a layer cake. And starting at 13,000 down to 16,500 feet, we have layer after layer after layer of natural gas reserves to drill and complete wells. Right now, based on the seismic and other stuff that we have, we see we can drill over 400 wells so far. And, we also have a deep project. We think there's a giant oil and gas field underneath. We'll be drilling a deep well down to 19 to 20,000 feet this year, looking for that as well. So very exciting times for us.
So, Mark, that leads me into my next question. Perfect timing. I was going to say to you, in our conversations, you and I, you've said that even though this is one of the largest gas discoveries, the largest of your career, you think, and one of the largest maybe in the history of America, it might be like the Permian Basin, but you think underneath the gas is an ocean of oil. What makes you think that? Then this would be a double grand slam home run for both gas and oil. But what makes you think there's oceans of oil beneath the gas?
Because there's a 400 million barrel oil field 12 miles south of us. And based on our estimates, internal estimates, we think this is at least as big, if not twice as big, as that field. So we're very excited. That field has been producing for 100 years. It still produces 3,500 barrels a day. It was discovered in 1917. And the name of the field is Lost Soldier Field. That's what I named my oil and gas company after, Lost Soldier.
And so, listen, here's an obvious question that a lot of people ask me. Why are you even going after investors? Why not just sell part of it off to some giant company like ExxonMobil or some other giant oil company and let them do the drilling and finding the oil and the gas, the discovery, the expenses, bring in the employees? Why do you want to do the whole thing yourself? Why not sell off a piece?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is all those investors that made so much money in Ultra, those are our investors right now because they're very excited about having the opportunity to have that kind of upside. So, between 3 to 5 years, we expect to go public. And when that happens, let's see what happens. We think we'll have a lot of proved undeveloped locations. We really look at something like with all those what we call PUDs, that an ExxonMobil, for example, that bought out Pioneer for $50 billion will be looking at us. So, in 3 to 5 years, we'll give everyone the opportunity to be able to get that kind of liquidity and that kind of upside.
What does the 2025 drilling and completion season look like for Lost Soldier Oil and Gas, 2025, this year?
We're going to lay a 5-mile pipeline to hook into this pipeline that has 450 million a day of capacity. We expect to fill that up with this private placement in the next 3 years. We're going to complete the wells and put them into production with that pipeline, and we're going to drill the deep well, down to 19, 20,000 feet, looking for what we think is going to be that giant oil field. So it's very exciting. Even if we didn't find anything else, what we found so far is going to be fantastic. The 5 to 10 year plan is we plan to be the biggest producer of natural gas into California within 5 to 10 years.
Wow, exciting stuff. Look, you're looking for accredited investors. People can even invest with Bitcoin. It doesn't have to be a check or cash. It could be Bitcoin. How does someone who is an accredited investor find out more information and get involved with this amazing Lost Soldier oil and gas project, Mark?
I think they go into lostsoldier.com and we'll get them the information that they need to assess the investment, and certainly be happy to talk to them on the telephone and answer any questions that they may have.
All right, the website is lostsoldier.com. Pretty simple stuff, lostsoldier.com. The project, 40,000 acres, took 40 years to piece together. It's called Lost Soldier Oil and Gas LLC. That's the company, that's the project, but the website, lostsoldier.com. If you're an accredited investor, Mark wants to hear from you. If you want to hear more information, check it out. Fill out the form when you get to Lost Soldier. Mark and his people will get back to you as CFO and let you know all the details you need to know. lostsoldier.com. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you always being on the show. Good man.
Thank you, Wayne. Nice to see you again.
When we get back, it's time for the Final Four, otherwise known as Root Madness. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Wayne Root. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com.
What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
Without painful exercises in just 88 days? We have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment, but life's a lot longer than a moment.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fat. Fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
Go to the website below or scan the QR code to learn more.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Here's great stuff from Rob Schneider, the comedian. He's not late to the game. I've been talking about this for 4 years. But comedian Rob Schneider calls on all the vax pushers like Dr. Fauci and all the other doctors at the CDC and the FDA and the AMA and the WHO to go on stage in front of all of us, cameras rolling, and get all 52 COVID vax shots at once. And let's see what happens. And I agree. They'll all drop dead on the spot. That's it. The massive overdose, and they're all dead. And then we'll all know that the COVID vaccine is a killer. But they'll never do it. Will you roll up your sleeve and take every booster right now? How about we take the booster, we shoot it into a glass of juice, and you drink it all down. Tastes delicious, doesn't it? Spike proteins, COVID, death. Drink it. You're all such creeps. You murdered people. New poll finds majority of Americans view the economy as strong for the first time since 2021. It's a new Harvard-Harris poll. So it's not like this is prejudiced right-wing propaganda. Harvard-Harris, A, is very famous and credible, and B, is nothing even remotely close to right-wing. So note the timing. The last time people felt this good about the economy was shortly after Trump left office in 2021. Now he's back in office for just a few months, and people feel good again. This is not a coincidence, right? Not a quincy dink. It's Trump policies in action. So the golden age of America is here. Donald Trump is making America great again. Majority of Americans view the state of the economy as strong for the first time in 4 years. Gee, I wonder why.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. It's hot.
Hope you enjoyed that interview with Mark Bruner of Lost Soldier. Again, if you want to contact him, it's lostsoldier.com, lostsoldier.com. I'm a marketing guy. You know, I remember when they first came on my show 3 months ago, and I thought this is the greatest opportunity I've ever seen. But their website was, let's see, Lost Soldier, LS, Oil and Gas, LSOG, because it's Lost Soldier Oil and Gas LLC. It was LSOGLLC.com. And I said, Mark, nobody's going to remember that. People are going to screw up the, the lettering. They're not going to get it right. They're going to get confused. No one's going to know how to contact you. Why don't you just go see if you can get lostsoldier.com? Then I looked it up, and it was available for like $3,000, and they bought it. Now they have the domain lostsoldier.com. Makes life easy. And now they've gotten literally thousands of calls, and so many people who are fans of mine have invested with Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. They are so happy. They are so thrilled. LostSoldierOilandGas.com. It's all about marketing. Got to know how to market the product. Great, best product I've ever seen. This could be the biggest hit ever. Just like Ultra Petroleum was Mark's last venture. $10,000 investment equaled $13 million at its peak in that investment. Ultra Petroleum. Now it's lostsoldier.com, 40,000 acres. Took him 40 years to piece it together, acquire it. And he believes it's much bigger than Ultra Petroleum. So who knows? Maybe a $10,000 investment will be $26 million, not 13. We'll see. And that's what you need to get rich. You need one good hit in life, one good hit. Waste of the day, California rail line. I've been saying this for so long. First of all, nobody wants to get on a train in California or even Las Vegas. In Vegas, we have a train, but it's not a train like this train. It's just it goes to different casinos, right? And it's a giant, like, $100 million boondoggle. I think they spent $100 million on it, and nobody ever uses it. I mean, it's just nobody gets on the damn thing. It's empty. If you're going to go to another casino, you walk there if it's close, or you take a cab, or you take an Uber. But no one's going to get on a train just to get to a casino that's 3 blocks away. Stupid. Same thing in California. California's high-speed rail line has more than tripled in price from $40 billion to $128 billion, causing President Trump to rescind $4 billion of federal funding and claim the project is, quote, the worst overrun that there has ever been in the history of our country. It's easy to see why. State audits reviewed by Free Beacon found cash spent not on construction but on graffiti removal, Politico subscriptions, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, DEI initiatives. Construction was supposed to begin in 2015 and finish in 2020. To date, no track has been laid in 2025, and there's no estimate for when the project will be completed. Wow. Meanwhile, the state's high-speed rail authority has spent $537 million on environmental services. The project's environmental impact statement took 14 years to write. One company received $20 million to build new animal habitats, since many could be destroyed by the construction. The city of Fresno received $5 million for graffiti cleanup. Kadesh and Associates received $2 million for lobbying. CPS HR Consulting received $51,000 to run meetings for the Rail Authority's DEI task force. $177,000 was spent on subscriptions to Politico. The federal government spent $44 million on Politico subscriptions, by the way, from 2017 to 2024. Do you understand our money's being thrown away like in the toilet or burned in a fireplace? Politico subscriptions, $44 million. They kept them in business. Politico was liberal, a deep state, and DC swamp. Now you know why. Because you can't stay in business unless the government gives you $44 million of taxpayer money. Nancy Mace, who's becoming a really great congresswoman. I mean, she just really knows how to get publicity and knows how to make a big issue out of this men and women's sports. And she's just doing a great job. And Nancy Mace pushes to expel Democrat lawmaker charged with assaulting law enforcement during a chaotic Newark, New Jersey ICE facility protest. Remember that was last week. This LaMonica McIver from the House of Representatives, she's a congresswoman representing New Jersey. She assaulted, allegedly, an ICE officer, and she was charged with assault against an ICE officer earlier this week in connection with her confrontation with law enforcement outside of Newark Immigration Detention Center. Now Nancy Mace wants to expel her from Congress. On May 9th, McIver didn't just break the law, she attacked the very people who defend it. Attacking Homeland Security and ICE agents isn't just disgraceful, it's assault, says Nancy Mace. If any other American did what she did, they would be in handcuffs. McIver thinks being a member of Congress puts her above the law. She should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Good job, Nancy Mace. Kick her out. But just a bunch of criminals. Just a bunch of criminals. Amio Life, by the way, is the sponsor of this segment of the show. I use their alkaline structured silver solution, which is liquid. You drink it 3 or 4 times a day to boost my immune system. And their natural silver mouthwash to keep my breath clear and clean. And there's silver gel on my face to keep away any wrinkles. Silver lozenges. I suck on them under my tongue throughout the show to keep my voice alive. Every break I take them. Visit AmioLife.com, AmioLife.com, and just type in Route 30 at checkout and get 30% off every single product they sell at AmioLife.com. Promo code Route 30, hour number 2 coming up next. Don't to Joe Biden, because I'm supposed to shed a tear. Oh, my God, poor Joe Biden. The whole world knows that Joe Biden is a creep. He sniffs girls' hair. He puts his hands on people's legs, little girls' legs. He's a creep. He's a little pedophile-like creep. And the whole world knows all the terrible things that went on while he was president, and the whole world knows him and his son extorted leaders around the world, and his son is a felon, and we all know that Joe Biden stole the 2020 election. We know everything bad about the Bidens. We know he hid his cognitive dementia, cognitive decline for all those years. We know all kinds of things, and now we know he hid his prostate stage 4 cancer diagnosis as well. He's a creep. So why is it coming out now? Because he's in so much trouble now over the auto pen. The auto pen. And because Kamala's in so much trouble over all the celebrities that were paid to campaign for and claim they were on her team. If they were on her team, why did they take the millions of dollars? Why did they do it for free? Why did Springsteen do it for free? Why did Beyonce do it for free? Why did Oprah do it for free? There's so many. The 2020 election, we're all going to find out it was stolen. It's all come rolling out of the closet, and they needed something to cover it up, and they wanted you to feel bad for Joe Biden instead of wanting to put him in prison. And as I said in a text today, Joe Biden, I do feel bad for him, and it's too bad he's dying, but I wish he was dying. If he has to die, I wish he was dying in a prison cell. He's prison hospital. That's where he ought to be dying of stage 4 cancer, in a prison hospital, because he's a criminal, because he personally mandated millions of Americans to get the COVID vaccine, and they died. So many of them died. The man's a criminal, and now it comes back around, because do you have any idea how somebody gets prostate cancer, which most men outlive prostate cancer, right? If they die at the age of 90, they've had prostate cancer for the last 20, 30 years of their life. Prostate's a very slow-moving cancer, but this is suddenly a fast-moving cancer. And you know why? Because he took the vaccine. Those vaccines that he's stuffed in everybody's throat, those experimental for emergency use only vaccines that he mandated everyone had to take. Trump never mandated anything for anybody. Trump was never a doctor. He was never a scientist. They are not his vaccines. Stop saying they're his vaccines. But he never said you have to take them. You take them if you want to take them. There's freedom under Donald Trump. Under Joe Biden, there was no freedom. So what goes around comes around. Terrible thing. I hate cancer. I don't like seeing anybody with cancer. My mom and dad died 28 days apart from cancer. So certainly I'm not a guy who takes cancer lightly. It's a horrible thing. Obama judge Edward Chin, U.S. District Court judge, here we go again, with a district court judge appointed by Obama, says to hell with the Supreme Court. Remember I announced yesterday, Supreme Court said Trump could go ahead and deport all the Venezuelans. It's a finished issue. The Supreme Court has ruled. It's done. But the Obama judge orders the Trump DOJ to turn over the documents related to the decision to revoke the protected status for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan migrants. He says, to hell with the Supreme Court. I mean, this is impossible to believe. U.S. District Court Judge Edward Chen, an Obama appointee, says to hell with the Supreme Court. He still ordered Trump to hand over all the documents related to his decision to revoke protected status for Venezuelans. He said the Supreme Court's ruling is not a factor and insisted on a deadline tonight for the Trump DOJ to turn over the documents. Folks, this is where the Trump DOJ has got to tell this guy to pound sand. Go to hell. Go F yourself. Give him a middle finger. Screw you. That's what you got to do. There's no choice. Give him a middle finger. Tell this judge to go to hell. And then send U.S. Marshals to arrest him and put him in cuffs and perp walk him out of his courtroom and make sure the media's there to take, with their cameras, Fox News and Newsmax and Real America's Voice TV. Make sure we're all there to watch it and record it. Because this is a communist traitor, and he's got to go. Then put him on, what's it called again? Con Air, right? Con Air. And put the shackles on his legs and the shackles on his hands and send him off to Gitmo. And then they'll all learn a lesson. I've told this story before. I'm going to tell it again. A lot of people are new. A lot of people are different. A lot of people who heard it don't remember it. A lot of people who remember it need to have it reinforced. I was a Jewish wimp who got beat up all day in middle school and high school, sent to an all-black school with nothing but rough black kids with no fathers in the home, that were running wild, that wanted to beat up anyone who was weak and stole my lunch money and beat me up and chased me home from school. One kid I would still never forget, I was standing in front of the track at lunch period, and they pulled my shirt over my face quickly so I couldn't see, and then 5 kids beat the crap out of me. And I'm telling you, the whole key was I learned how to fight one summer, came back. The first guy that picked on me, I knocked him unconscious. Second guy that picked on me, knocked him unconscious. Third guy that picked on me, I hit him so hard in the stomach, he was out of school for a week with diarrhea because I broke his stomach muscle. So my point is, no one ever effed with me again. You cannot win without making a point. And the point is made by arresting judges like this and charging them with treason.
In every thread, in every stitch, Honor-Bound USA weaves the fabric of the American spirit. It's not just apparel, it's a testament to God, family, and country. At Honor-Bound USA, we're a family of patriots who put our faith, family, and America first. When you visit our website, you'll find a line of products that embody our commitment to pray, stand, speak, and act. As the official site for the Untamed podcast, all of our products proclaim speaking the truth with courage. We also have the powerful documentary from Professor David Clements, Let My People Go. Identify yourself as one of the few who are willing to stand for what they believe in. Join the Honor-Bound USA family today. Wear it as a badge of honor, commitment to the values that shape us, and a pledge to the bright future we will build together. Because when you're honor-bound, you're not just wearing a brand, you're embodying a lifestyle.
What time is it? It's time for War! Here's your host, 100% raw truth, 100% American made, the warrior, Wayne Allen Root.
Action Podcast, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. RootForAmerica.com is my command central. How do you find this podcast if you're listening on the radio right now? Because this is our nationally syndicated radio show. It's a simulcast with our video podcast. All you do is go to RootForAmerica.com. Just much simpler than telling you Untamed Nation and Rumble and my X page and my Getter page. Yeah, it's at all those places. But if you go to RootForAmerica.com, at the top it says Watch Wayne on TV. There it is. Watch Wayne on TV, listen to Wayne on the radio. And listen to Wayne's podcast or watch Wayne's video podcast. Click on it. It shows you all the ways to connect, or you connect right there from my website, or it shows you a library of prior shows, all of it at RootForAmerica.com. You can email me anytime, WayneRoot@gmail.com. The root is on fire. Here's a bunch of stories from yesterday that I never got to. How about that? I was looking through my pile of stories yesterday, and there's tons of them I never got to. Amazon is selling Trump assassination T-shirts, hats, and stickers that all say 8647 on them. I'm sure it's trademarked by James Comey because he didn't know what it meant, and it wasn't his little shell formation, and it was all a big mistake. And I'll sure you find out it's trademarked in his wife's name. 8647, meaning kill President Trump. Isn't that wonderful? Spain hit by widespread phone and internet outages less than a month after the worst mass blackouts in the history of Spain and Portugal. Now widespread phone and internet outages. How did that happen? Green energy is a curse upon mankind. And if you want to rely on green energy, you're going to have non-stop outages with no electricity. 80% of French women don't shave their underarms. No, I'm just kidding. It's 80% of French women want the army deployed in French cities to protect them from Muslims. What do you think they need the army to protect them? Because these are no-go zones filled with murderous Muslims. Now, again, don't misquote me, liberal scumbags. I didn't say that all Muslims are bad. I didn't say that Islam, the religion, was bad. I merely say that there are bad people in that religion, and they're in no-go cities. They're Muslim migrants. They're vicious. They're violent. They don't belong in France. Police can't go in. Riot police can't go in. SWAT teams can't go in because they'll be stabbed, they'll be shot, bombs, grenades thrown at them. 80% of French women want the army deployed in French cities to protect them. It's not to protect them from Frenchmen. Don't you get it? I just tell the truth on this show. There is no racism. There is no hate. There's no hate speech. It's just truth. I tell you what's going on. There was like a riot at a mall yesterday. 300 kids. I didn't even need to look. I knew it was 300 black kids. Every time you hear about a wilding event at a mall, it's always black kids. Does that mean I hate black people? No. Does that mean I think all black people are bad? Absolutely not. Does that mean I want to hurt black people? Absolutely not. I love black people. I love everyone. But that doesn't mean that there aren't bad young black kids without fathers in the home that are running wild and are causing all kinds of problem at American malls. I don't hate all Muslims, but that doesn't mean there aren't Muslims who are running wild in no-go zones in British and German and Belgium and French cities, Spanish cities. that are causing all kinds of problems. You just got to be honest in life. Don't hide the truth. New Hampshire's first, perfect timing, just happened to be in order. New Hampshire's first black sheriff ever jailed for blowing public money on travel with women. New Hampshire man heralded as the first black sheriff in the state's history, sentenced on Monday to 3.5 years in prison for squandering $19,000 of taxpayers' money on expensive getaways with multiple love interests. What's my point? Well, my point is, first, that pretty much all government employees, you got to watch them like an eagle because they're playing with other people's money. When you play with other people's money, you tend to steal it. Do you realize my whole life I've never worked for government? I've never had other people's money, OPM. I only have my own money. I'm careful with it. But I suppose I'd be like everyone else. If I had other people's money, I'd blow it. So I'm glad I don't work for government. But just because someone's black or the first black sheriff doesn't make them good. Not every black person's good. First black sheriff turns out to be a creep and a thief. But if you listen to society, if you listen to the media, only white people are bad. I watch TV, I turn on the TV. It's only white people that are criminals now. There are no black criminals. And it's always black, wonderful, nice policemen, military, FBI. They're the most wonderful people in the world. Muslim FBI agents, the most wonderful people in the world. Is that the way the world works? You're full of crap. That's not the way it works. Put on the news. That's not what's on the news, man. And the news is run by liberals. Working out is now considered right-wing. I've seen articles like that for the last 5 years, by the way. It's nothing new. But according to several recent articles, engaging in physical exercise is now linked to right-wing extremism. Of course it is. I'm in the gym 2 hours a day, an hour in the morning, an hour at night. That must make me a KKK member. Oh, my God. Liberals are so insane. The narrative suggests that lifting weights, building discipline, and taking responsibility for your body are somehow dangerous acts. The Guardian claims that getting in shape could turn you into a right-wing jerk. Time runs pieces on the white supremacist origins of exercise. MSNBC warns that during the pandemic, workout trends ended up leading to extreme ideologies. Really? So working out and wanting to care about yourself and be disciplined and liking looking good and other people looking good, you know, oh, those are all bad traits of conservatives. Well, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. Actually, if you go to a gym, almost everyone's a conservative. People look good and take care of themselves are conservatives. Doesn't make them right-wing extremists. Doesn't make them KKK. But there is a correlation, actually. You're kind of right. People who work out and take care of themselves and believe in looking good and want to attract the opposite sex and want the opposite sex to look hot and sexy and beautiful or handsome, those people are almost all conservatives. And a bunch of ugly women who can't even get a guy to screw them, who become lesbians, they're all Democrats. Just the way it is. So there is some truth to that. Not right-wing extremism, but looking good, conservative. Looking ugly, Democrat. Liberal. Looking ugly, pathetic, can't have children, Democrat. Canada moves to begin euthanizing children without parental consent. The globalist Canadian government has launched a campaign to promote a new push to begin euthanizing children with mental health issues without their parents' consent. Liberal Party Prime Minister Mark Carney's government describes those children who would be eligible for assisted suicide using alarmingly vague term, mature minors. According to the Canadian government's promotional material, children with mental health issues would be euthanized without parental consent under the expanded laws. Mature minors. What does that mean, mature minors? This is demonic. It's demonic, just like it's demonic to try and pass laws that if you don't accept that your transgender child, boy is a girl or girl is a boy, or you misname them, they want to be Peter now, and you keep calling them Robin or Rob or Mary or Jane. If you do that, government has a right to take your children away from you, forcibly take them out of the house. This is all demonic. This is the devil, and it's communism as well. This is what Karl Marx wanted from day one. Martin Armstrong, who's been a guest on this show several times, one of the most brilliant prediction guys in the world and economists in the world. He slams European leaders reinstating military drafts and says they want war. And I've seen articles where he says they need war. He says Europe is basically completely bankrupt, the whole continent, and their only chance to survive, all the politicians, is if they start World War III with Russia. They all want it. Legendary financial and geopolitical cycle analyst Martin Armstrong is back with an update on the big turn towards war in Ukraine with Russia. 2 weeks ago, Armstrong predicted after May 15th, war is turning up in Ukraine, and it will be turning up in 2026. That prediction paid off to the exact day as peace talks between Russia and Ukraine ended on May 15th after just 2 hours, and neither side agreed to meet again. War is already here, he says, and there is no stopping it with peace talks. Armstrong says Putin knows and understands it's not just a war with Ukraine. This is a war with NATO. If Putin agrees to a 30-day ceasefire, what's that going to do? Nothing. You have every European country reinstating drafts. In Germany, even people 60 years old have been told to report. What? Poland has ordered every able-bodied man to show up for military training. They want war. Their economies are collapsing. You hear about the de-dollarization, and it's not happening. The capitalization of just the New York Stock Exchange is now worth more than all of Europe combined. That's just the New York Stock Exchange. You've got Macron in France. They call it the Petit Napoleon. Without war, Europe is going to collapse. It's in a sovereign debt crisis. They've done everything against their own economy. So we need to get out of NATO because I don't want war. I have no interest in war with Russia. Here's one more story from yesterday I never got to. Australia's unrealized gains tax will be a lesson in economic suicide. Australia is now going to tax you for stocks you own and real estate you own that you have not sold. It could be up at the moment. It could be down tomorrow. They tax you now on the gain that you don't have. That's communism at its highest. That will wipe out the Australian economy. Australia's gone. All the men are pussy. Cats. Let me say that right so we don't get banned here. Pussy cats. They're wimps. They gave up their guns, and now they're giving up their economy. They've given up capitalism. You wimps. You pussycat losers in Australia. Bye-bye, Australia. Hi, this is Wayne Allen. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com.
What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
without painful exercises in just 88 days? We have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment, but life's a lot longer than a moment.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fat. Fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
Go to the website below or scan the QR code to learn more.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Here's great stuff from Rob Schneider, the comedian. He's not late to the game. I've been talking about this for 4 years. But comedian Rob Schneider calls on all the vax pushers like Dr. Fauci and all the other doctors at the CDC and the FDA and the AMA and the WHO to go on stage in front of all of us, cameras rolling, and get all 52 COVID vax shots at once. And let's see what happens. And I agree. They'll all drop dead on the spot. That's it. The massive overdose, and they're all dead. And then we'll all know that the COVID vaccine is a killer. But they'll never do it. Will you roll up your sleeve and take every booster right now? How about we take the booster, we shoot it into a glass of juice, and you drink it all down. Tastes delicious, doesn't it? Spike proteins, COVID, death. Drink it. You're all such creeps. You murdered people. New poll finds majority of Americans view the economy as strong for the first time since 2021. It's a new Harvard-Harris poll. So it's not like this is prejudiced right-wing propaganda. Harvard-Harris, A, is very famous and credible, and B, is nothing even remotely close to right-wing. So note the timing. The last time people felt this good about the economy was shortly after Trump left office in 2021. Now he's back in office for just a few months, and people feel good again. This is not a coincidence, right? Not a coincy-dink. It's Trump policies in action. So the golden age of America is here. Donald Trump is making America great again. Majority of Americans view the state of the economy as strong for the first time in 4 years. Gee, I wonder why.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. Hi.
I was making notes for a future article I'm going to write, maybe next week, we'll see, maybe the next couple of days, maybe over the weekend, the Memorial Day weekend. That if you don't see what Trump is doing with the vaccine, you're blind. He hasn't come out and said, gee, it killed millions of people, I wish he would, but he just won't do that. But he is such a breath of fresh air compared to Democrats and Biden. He's taken the vaccine off the childhood recommendations. He's taken it off recommendations for teens and pregnant women. He's now, I don't have the article in front of me, but I think they said it's called the gold standard. You will not get future booster approval from the FDA unless there's the gold standard, meaning real trials and real long-term, 10-year trials and a lot of money spent. They'll never do that again. RFK Jr., what other president would have appointed RFK Jr.? No one in the entire world. He also named Bhattacharya from Stanford, head of the NIH, National Institute of Health. Who else would have done that? Only Trump. He's allowing RFK Jr. to study autism and prove there's a connection with vaccines. And he's now prosecuting, Trump's DOJ is prosecuting, or at least, I'm sorry, I used the wrong word. They're investigating Andrew Cuomo for prosecution, potential prosecution for how he handled COVID. Again, if a Democrat had won, it would be swept under the rug and his life would be fine. His life was ruined, Andrew Cuomo, by Trump winning. Now his life is in danger. His future career is in danger. Making money is in danger. He could go to prison. So Trump is fantastic. He's a breath of fresh air. Is he perfect on the vaccine? No. Oh, and don't forget, he reinstated military and gave him back pay for not taking the vaccine. I mean, he's great. Trump rules. Perfect tie-in for my book, Trump Rules. It is. I've written 17 books. Number 17, I mentioned earlier in the show how Democrats have made America great. 140 blank pages, gag gift, funny book. This is a serious book, Trump Rules. This is my 16th out of 17 books. So it's the one before How Democrats Have Made America Great. It is the Trump Rules of Success. If you want to learn how to be successful, these are all the rules Trump has used to become rich and successful and number one at everything in the world that he does, basically. So, incredible guy. Trump Rules. It's available at Amazon.com. A couple more stories from yesterday. A female St. Louis tornado commissioner, who I'm sure got her job because she is a they-them. She was fired yesterday because there was a tornado and she didn't turn on the tornado siren. This is what you're dealing with. Incompetent people, losers, who only get hired because they're black, because they're color, because they're a woman, because they're, they know how to touch a tornado siren, and she couldn't even do that right. Because they're transgender. Look at the lesbian fire chief in Los Angeles while the town burned. All these people got their jobs because of prejudice and bias and racism. And instead of it being, oh, you got your job because you're white, like they think every white person does, it turns out they got their jobs because they're incompetent but black or incompetent but lesbian. This is really amazing. A female they, them. They, them. Can you imagine? I'm not Mr. Wayne Root. I'm they, them Root. Mayor Kara Spencer suspended Sarah Russell after the tornado sirens were left off during Friday's tornado. No one was present in the SEMA office in St. Louis City government when the tornado went through on Friday. Sarah Russell, bye-bye. You need to go. You've been incompetent the whole time, is what somebody tweeted out. And she's a they, them. Interesting. General Motors warns of serious threat to their business before making a bombshell U-turn. America's largest automaker once backed California's aggressive electric vehicle push. That support is over. General Motors has begun urging employees to lobby lawmakers against the ban on the sale of new gas cars in the state within a decade. They say, we need your help. Emission standards are not aligned with market realities and pose a serious threat to our business by undermining consumer choice and vehicle affordability. No one wants the climate change rules. It's all over. All right, Advantage Gold, sponsor of this segment. Then we have a great guest coming up. We've actually got, coming up is Lara Logan. Investigative reporter Lara Logan, very famous name. Advantage, and she will be live on the show. Advantage Gold is the sponsor of the show, and they've got a big webinar today with me after this show is over. So it's today, and they're giving up to $10,000 in free gold and silver for every qualifying purchase, and they're giving away a free book, and the book is by the former chief economist of the International Monetary Fund. It's a really fantastic book. It's their most generous offer ever. Free book to every person who attends and up to $10,000 in free gold and silver for every qualifying purchase. How do you attend? Just text GOLD to 85545. Text GOLD to 85545 and attend this afternoon's webinar the minute this show is over. Text GOLD to 85545.
If someone told you that you could change your life, change your entire life in 88 days, would you do it? Would you believe it?
We're John and Chelsea Jubilee. What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
without painful exercises in just 88 days? We have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment. But life's a lot longer than a moment. You need something that's sustainable, that will take care of you for a lifetime.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fat, fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. We encourage you, go log on our website and look at these amazing testimonials.
Over and over again, we've heard our clients say it sounded too good to be true, but it worked for me.
I needed to reduce my arthritic pain, and I also had very, very high blood pressure that needed to normalize. And I'm pleased to say that I have absolutely no arthritic pain anymore, and my blood pressure is normal.
It was really cool to be able to get my life back. I didn't even think I'd cry talking about that.
I endorse the program wholeheartedly. It has led to improvements that I can't fully explain based on my medical knowledge as it was taught to me.
Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
Go to the website below or scan the QR code to learn more.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Here's another big story. The Senate unanimously passes No Tax on Tips Act by unanimous consent. Now, what I don't get is, I had nothing to do with no taxes on tips. I was no tax on overtime and no tax on Social Security. I don't know why everyone is in such a rush to pass no tax on tips, which I support 100%, but leaving out no tax on overtime and no tax on Social Security. Now, if you look at the budget that Congress has passed, the House has passed, it just leaves out no tax on Social Security. It's got no tax on overtime. It's got no tax on tips. But it leaves out no taxes on Social Security. It does have a new $4,000 deduction for seniors who make $75,000 or less as a single senior, and if you are married, $150,000 or less. But that was not what I proposed. I said no taxes on Social Security, period. Why would we pay taxes on Social Security when Social Security is something we've paid into for 40 years and you've given us no interest on it? So why have you abandoned seniors? I don't know. I think it's a mistake, and I think it's bad. More news. Supreme Court sides, but I'm all for no tax on tips. I was always for it, and I believe in it. But it should go hand in hand with no tax on overtime and no tax on Social Security for seniors. And guess who votes the most in this country? It sure isn't waiters and waitresses. The people who vote are seniors. Those who are 62 and over, and especially 65 and over, are the number one most frequent voters. They all vote. They all go out to the polls. So it's a mistake to abandon them and take my other one, no tax on overtime, and make that the law, and take no tax on tips, which, by the way, the inventor of that one, who gave it to President Trump, was my buddy Dr. Jeff Gunter, Ambassador Jeff Gunter for President Trump. He was the ambassador to Iceland. Hi, this is Wayne Allyn. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. It's hot.
From Las Vegas, the Root is on fire. Welcome to my show. This is the Root Reaction podcast, separate from my big TV show every weekend, every Saturday on Real America's Voice TV is America's Top 10 Countdown with yours truly, Wayne Allen Roots, the only show on TV where I, as a MAGA warrior, my whole life basically, choose the top 10 stories in America that should matter to you if you are MAGA, if you are pro-Trump, if you are a conservative, if you are a patriot. These are the stories you really don't hear on Fox News or Newsmax. They think they're conservative. They're really not. They're really not. They're certainly not MAGA. They're more conservative compared to CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, except PBS, et cetera, et cetera. But they're not super conservative as I am. As I like to say, the media calls me right-wing and far-right, and I say, you're right. So far, I've always been right. I am far-right. So far, always right. Energized Health is the sponsor. This is our guest segment. We've got Lara Logan standing by. We look forward to interviewing her for a while. She's fantastic. Energized Health is the sponsor. They sign the front of the check, so you get to watch for free or listen for free. And you all know that I'm a health and fitness guy. You know, I work out 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, an hour in the morning, an hour at night in my home gym, and it makes my life, it gives me the energy to be who I am on this podcast. I'm going to be 64 years old, and I look better and younger than when I was 50. That's kind of impossible and amazing, and it's because of Energized Health. I've been on their program for 4.5 years. That's me in the gym today. I lost 25 pounds of fat, not weight. I weighed the same amount as I weighed when I started the program, but I lost 25 pounds of fat. It just melted off my body. I didn't even know it was there, and it changed the way I looked, and it reversed aged me and made me look much younger than I looked 14 years ago. So thank you, Energized Health, for taking good care of me. I got 3 TV shows past the age of 61. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, and I credit that to Energized Health, changing the way I look. If you want to be like Wayne right now, Energized Health's offering my fans 40% off. There's me in the gym. There's me 14 years ago, looking very different and much older 14 years ago with Steve Forbes, my buddy, at Freedom Fest, where I was the opening speaker every year, and Steve was always one of the stars of Freedom Fest in Las Vegas every summer. Energized Health's offering my fans 40% off automatically. Go to energizedhealth.com. Just say war and get 40% off. energizedhealth.com. All right, have we got Lara ready? Is she ready? Okay, good. Lara Logan, award-winning investigative journalist. Her new podcast, Going Rogue with Lara Logan, available on all platforms. LaraLogan.com is the website, LaraLogan.com. Lara, welcome to the Wayne Allen Root Show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Wayne. Thank you for having me.
Great. I've been looking forward to having you on for a long time. I hope it'll be the first of many, because I've watched you and we think simpatico on everything. There's very few people who have been right about the 2020 election and Joe Biden's mental decline and the COVID vaccine being deadly and stuck their necks out and said all this. Could have lost my show. You did all the same things for all these years. I mean, I've been ranting about the deadly COVID vaccine since the day it came out. I couldn't believe anybody was willing to take it. It's insanity. I thought you're a crash test dummy if you take the vaccine that no one has tested or the trials showed killed a lot of people. I told everyone, don't take it. You did all the same things. It takes a lot of courage, so I commend you for your bravery, Lara.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. I mean, it was hard because from the day that, COVID first began and was a big news story, I was waiting for people to start talking about the fact that U.S. intelligence monitors every Chinese facility, every laboratory, and the Chinese are not known for developing medicines that save their people's lives, I mean, every facility in China is a bioweapons lab, and And U.S. intelligence, monitors every minute of what goes on in there. So there was this idea that we didn't know about this, that we didn't always know about it, was obviously a lie from the very beginning, which meant I trusted nothing that any of them said.
Right. I rarely ever find anything government says to be good or positive or reassuring or the truth. I mean, I just don't trust government. I don't care if, I love Trump, but I don't care if Trump's in charge or Biden's in charge or Obama's in charge. I just don't trust anything government says. I trust Trump, but what the government says, I think usually turns out to be self-serving and a lie and something that's never good for me. Look at Obamacare. I assume you and I are very much simpatico on that one. I mean, I had great health insurance. I never had a problem in my life with health insurance till Obamacare came along and said it was terrible, and suddenly they changed over to Obamacare, and since then it's a nightmare. Anyone who gets sick, I feel bad, because the bills are 20 times higher because of Obamacare, and health insurance is 20 times higher because of Obamacare, and you wait in long lines, and it's horrible. Obamacare is a disaster, and I don't hear anybody talking about this.
Well, Obamacare is a disaster, and they should never have gone along with it. And one of the reasons that they did is that, what we needed was health insurance reform, not health care reform. Health care is fine. It's among the best in the world in America. But what we needed was a change in the way that the insurance companies operate. And what we got actually was a bolstering of the insurance companies. So we got exactly what we didn't need, and it was a lie from the beginning.
Yeah, they used to cover everything. I remember I had Aetna, and anytime anyone in my family, I have 4 kids, and anytime anybody got sick, pretty much everything was covered other than like $1,000 deductible. And then Obamacare, and I was paying $500 a month. And then Obamacare came along, and it went to $2,000 a month and a $10,000 deductible, and it covered nothing. Suddenly they said nothing is covered. I can't even believe anybody is not doing stories on this in the media, that it's the greatest ripoff in world history. And nobody's doing better. Why can't anyone just tell the truth? Obama had a lot of poor people with no insurance, and he wanted them to all get free insurance, so he had to rip off all the middle class and the rich people. So he raped the rich and the middle class and destroyed their health care and quadrupled their costs to pay for all the people that vote Democrat who are poor to get it for free. That's all it ever was, right?
Well, I think it was worse than that, because what we're seeing is systematically our systems, whether they're food or whether they're healthcare, are being systematically, socialized. Really, that's what they are. They're coming under, greater and greater centralized control. And you're seeing it in the rural areas. For example, you have these massive, health companies like Methodist that are buying up rural hospitals. And what does that give them the ability to do? Well, it means that, one by one, first of all, they can shut down the services offered at those rural hospitals, so that what's going to be the first to go, the maternity ward. That means that, essentially people are not born in the rural areas anymore. They get born in the cities because the hospitals are pushing people, the system is pushing people towards the cities to give birth, unless you give birth at home. And then what's happening is that, they can implement any national policy that they want. You won't have pockets of, independence anymore, because it's all owned by the big corporations. It's happening in the food industry. It's happening in the packaging industry. I mean, you pick an industry and you can see that same pattern replicating itself, which is the slow, hostile takeover of the U.S. economy.
Right. And the hospitals want to give you whatever will make them more money, not whatever makes you well. So they forced everybody to take remdesivir. They wouldn't give anyone ivermectin. They made everyone take a vaccine. They made the doctors and nurses take vaccines. So they killed people instead of making them well, but they all made a lot of money. It became all about money. Big corporations and big government, they don't care about people. They care about money. But let me switch to the topic I really wanted to get you on about, because you are from South Africa, and today President Trump had the president of South Africa sitting in the White House, and it was a very interesting get-together with President Trump kind of pinning him against the wall with a lot of pressure I've never seen before. I just wanted to get your take on your thoughts about what's going on in South Africa, the racism that's going on there against white people, and how President Trump handled South Africa's president.
Well, a lot of this is engineered racism, right? Not to say that racism doesn't exist in South Africa. I mean, you had the overthrow of a racial system just in the first place. But if you look at the messages that came from the leadership of South Africa at that time, people like Nelson Mandela, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and by the way, Cyril Ramaphosa, the current president of of South Africa, he said the same thing at the time. His message was one of unity, of the rainbow nation of South Africa uniting so that, number one, there was no, sort of all-out civil war where they didn't want to inherit ashes. They understood that the country was better and stronger if people worked together and negotiated an end to apartheid, which is exactly what happened. And in 1994, everybody went to the polls, and South Africa had its first fully democratic election. But one of the groups that was instrumental in that was George Soros's Open Society Foundation. And what you have seen them doing ever since the election is constantly injecting the language of open society and of engineered racism throughout. And now that the South African government is running out of things to steal, it's an obvious thing. This is what happens time and time again. You saw it happen across the board in Zimbabwe. They look to the land. And of course, South Africa has over 30,000 commercial farmers. They feed the whole country, they feed the region, and without them, millions of people will starve.
Right. It'll be mass starvation. I was there 4 times. I gave speeches in South Africa before I got into politics and political talk. I used to be a Tony Robbins speaker around the world, and I spoke 4 times in Johannesburg and Cape Town and all over South Africa, Pretoria. What's the one on the beach? Durban. I was in Durban, and what I saw was very nice people. But I saw wonderful people. I love that country, but I saw a government that was just a total horrible failure, a wreck, and its chickens have come home to roost. Any chance we grab you for one more segment? Can you stay for one more?
Sure.
Yeah, stay through the break. We got a 4-minute break. Okay. We'll be right back with Lara Logan. LaraLogan.com. Our podcast is Going Rogue with Lara Logan. We'll be right back. Wayne Allyn. Don't go anywhere. Hi, this is Wayne Allyn. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture-raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com.
What would you say if we told you you could reverse most any ailment or symptom
without painful exercises in just 88 days? We have created the only patent-pending intercellular hydration protocol.
Don't miss your opportunity to feel better. We know there's a lot of false hope out there, and many people have bought programs that work for a moment, but life's a lot longer than a moment.
We have been helping people gain intercellular hydration for nearly 3 decades.
You will lose fat, not weight, fat. Fast, including that killer visceral fat. Chronic dehydration is one of the root causes of many ailments and symptoms. Ask your doctor about Energized Health. Don't miss your opportunity to transform your health now.
Go to the website below or scan the QR code to learn more.
Possible side effects may include increased joy, energy, potential reduction in prescriptions, more fulfilling relationships, fewer doctor visits, and overall improved quality of health and life.
Here's great stuff from Rob Schneider, the comedian. He's not late to the game. I've been talking about this for 4 years. But comedian Rob Schneider calls on all the vax pushers like Dr. Fauci and all the other doctors at the CDC and the FDA and the AMA and the WHO to go on stage in front of all of us, cameras rolling, and get all 52 COVID vax shots at once, and let's see what happens. And I agree. They'll all drop dead on the spot. That's it. The massive overdose, and they're all dead. And then we'll all know that the COVID vaccine is a killer. But they'll never do it. Will you roll up your sleeve and take every booster right now? How about we take the booster, we shoot it into a glass of juice, and you drink it all down. Tastes delicious, doesn't it? Spike proteins, COVID, death. Drink it. You're all such creeps. You murdered people. New poll finds majority of Americans view the economy as strong for the first time since 2021. It's a new Harvard-Harris poll. So it's not like this is prejudiced right-wing propaganda. Harvard-Harris, A, is very famous and credible, and B, is nothing even remotely close to right-wing. So note the timing. The last time people felt this good about the economy was shortly after Trump left office in 2021. Now he's back in office for just a few months, and people feel good again. This is not a coincidence, right? Not a quincy dink. It's Trump policies in action. So the golden age of America is here. Donald Trump is making America great again. Majority of Americans view the state of the economy as strong for the first time in 4 years. Gee, I wonder why.
Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Military, both active and retired, and first responders get up to 40% off memberships. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. It's hot.
We're back in our guest segment with Lara Logan. I mentioned before I started the last segment that I'm a workout guy, right? 2 hours a day in the gym and eat healthy and take a lot of vitamins. Here's why. I'm going to be 64 on my next birthday. Jim Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, this just in, dead at 65 years old. So the guy's only a year older than me and he's dead. And you just say, God, you got to take care of yourself in life, right? I feel terrible. 65 years old. He's a billionaire. He owns an NFL team. God gives, 32 people in the whole world an NFL team. And this guy's dead at 65. Didn't enjoy the last 20, 30 years of his life. So sad. Very sad. Got to stay in good shape. There is no choice because life is precious, man. Lara Logan, award-winning investigative journalist. Her new podcast, Going Rogue with Lara Logan, is available on all platforms. Her website, laralogan.com. laralogan.com. Lara, so let's talk about Trump at the White House today with the president of South Africa. Did you get a chance to watch where Trump played the video of him saying, kill the Boer, kill the white people? And I never did hear what the response was of the president of South Africa to that, because he tries to act like he didn't say that. Trump played it in front of him, and there's definitely this
no, Wayne, just
frenzy. Kill the white man. Kill the white man.
No, wait, there's something important you need to understand. That when Trump played that video, he's showing a man called Julius Malema, who is leader of the EFF, which is a radical Marxist party in South Africa. And he's the one with the red beret on, Che Guevara style, leading people in this chant. Now, he did not invent this chant. When I was, growing up in South Africa, I would hear that. When I was a young journalist in the 90s, you would hear it. There was a young leader then, Peter Mokaba, And he would say this, Sean. So Julius Malema, he borrowed this from a long tradition of people that said it. But Cyril Ramaphosa, the issue that Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, the issue that he has is that he allows this to happen. And that's in part because the ANC is not in a strong position in South Africa anymore. They're the governing party. They historically were the party of revolution. There was a lot of emotion. But people are now, they're decades out from apartheid and they're still in poverty. And they're looking to the ruling party and they're saying, where's my house you promised me? And so what's happening is that, it's very easy for Marxists to drum up emotional support, because when people are suffering, when they can't get a job and they're living in poverty, and you can say, well, it's that guy's fault, right? It's that guy's fault, that white farmer. So you need to not just go and kill him. This is the thing I want people to understand. When you talk about the farm murders in South Africa, violence across South Africa affects all South Africans of all races. But the violence against the farmers is horrific. I mean, we're not talking about your average murder. We're not talking about somebody shot. We're talking about, parents tortured and raped in front of their children. We're talking about long, slow torture. We're talking about torturing people for hours and then killing them before you leave. I mean, there is a level of brutality, and not to say that there isn't violence against, black South Africans and white people in the cities every single day. There are, but you have this issue of land expropriation, and these people want to pretend that the white farmers came in and put a gun to someone's head and said, "Give me your property," and that's not what happened. There wasn't anyone on that land, and so when Nelson Mandela took over, part of his legacy was that he said there would be no expropriation without compensation. And now Cyril Ramaphosa is going back on that legacy. And that's the issue. And the last time he tried to do this, and the government walked it back, because I went out there to South Africa, I talked to a bunch of farmers, and what they told the government at the time was, they said, if you're going to steal our crops and steal our land, we're not going to plant. And now those 30,000 commercial farmers, they feed the country. So without them farming, millions of people are going to starve. And that was enough. Yeah, that was enough last time for the South African government to draw back. But now what's happened, right? They've continued with the corruption. They've continued with the theft. They've continued not to put money into the infrastructure, the electricity, load sharing, where they share, they have to cut your electricity off for a few hours every day. All of these things are progressively worse and worse and worse. And then what do you have within that? The poison of the Marxist movement, the poison of these elite globalists that have inserted this language of DEI and everything else all across the world. Well, this is a poison that takes root in poverty, especially when you have the emotional issue of racism. And there's a history of racism in South Africa. And so it's all too easy for them to play the race card.
And especially when you have George Soros stirring the pot. I mean, everywhere he goes in the world is nothing but trouble. Trouble and disaster, Marxism. I happen to be Jewish by birth, and it so pains me to know that George Soros is Jewish, and yet he was helping the Nazis during the Holocaust and World War II. Just a bad man, in my opinion, evil, pure evil.
And unrepentant.
Pure Marxist evil. Hey,
unrepentant, Wayne.
No, doesn't even feel
when
bad
he was
about
asked about this on 60 Minutes by Steve Kroft, he said, he didn't feel bad about it at all.
Right. I watched it. Unbelievable. And liberals defend him. And they say if you attack him, you must be anti-Semitic. You must not like Jews. George Soros is as far from a Jew as you get. I'm Jewish. George Soros is a evil atheist. That's what I would call him.
He's a traitor.
Hey, Lara, we got to run. Well, we got to run. So that's it for tonight's show. Lara Logan, you can find her Going Rogue with Lara Logan. LaraLogan.com is the website. Award-winning investigative journalist and great courage, and do a fantastic job. Thank you, Lara, for all you do.
Thank you, Wayne. Take care.
That's it for tonight. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow night. Same time, same place.